Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna record you. It's okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna start.
Okay.
All right. Transwestern has launched a series of weekly webcasts designed to give our clients and friends and neighbors and whoever else wants to watch this real-time answers to pressing questions caused by COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent economic disruption. Our guest today is Laura Collins. Hello, Laura. The Director of Management for Westmont Realty Capital. She manages over 6 million square feet in the Chicagoland area. Westmont has been investing in industrial sector for well over 30 years and has weathered several previous downturns. Laura, how are you and what in the hell just happened?
I'm good. Well, what happened was the market came to a screeching halt, or put it this way, people leaving their homes came to a screeching halt. And that certainly put a damper on our business, although not to the extent our brethren in retail and office and the multifamily part of our business has seen.
So industrial's built for this and we can weather the storm.
I certainly think so. I think right now we're doing extraordinarily well under the circumstances.
That's fantastic. What was your vacancy rate prior to the pandemic?
We were about overall, I would say we were maybe 89%.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Have you changed your forecasting at all for the second quarter and beyond?
We have, I would say we are probably forecasting a longer time for vacant spaces. Having said that, we just completed a 58,000 square foot deal that sort of came out of nowhere, a very recession-proof business. So I can't say that that things have seen a slowdown from our perspective yet.
Okay. How has the pandemic changed your credit review process when you do get a new lease or a new prospect?
Yeah, well, we're definitely putting them through a stringent credit review process. Tenants need to provide financial statements for the past 2 years. They're going to need to provide monthly financial statements as well. And we're going to really be looking at those carefully and making sure that the tenants have a good track record, if it's a new tenant, of paying the rent, especially during this downturn.
Understand. So new opportunities come out of every disruption. Is Westmont considering anything?
That's a good question. Let's see. I mean, I think Westmont is always looking for value add opportunities. And to the extent some of the portfolios and buildings that we've been looking at across the country are, those prices go down as a result of this pandemic, certainly we'll be in a position to take advantage of that market downturn. And we will be poised to purchase, when the time comes.
In the Chicagoland market, what are your requirements?
I mean, we're looking for value add portfolios, generally speaking. However, we do have a number of private capital sources who would also consider a smaller building portfolio or, let's say, a one-off transaction.
You get involved in the sale leasebacks?
Not necessarily, but we certainly would consider that situation where a tenant was looking to do a sale leaseback. We're open, we're opportunistic, and we're always looking for ways to provide a solid income stream for our investors.
How do you think the current disruption will change the way you do business today and tomorrow?
Yeah, well, we're clearly trying to do more things virtual. Our meetings, of course, are all being held virtually. We're doing a lot more of these types of meetings, Zoom meetings and things like that. That a broker meeting every other week. And I love seeing people in person, and I don't get to do that. So now as a result of this, I think that's something that we need to seriously consider, since we will probably be seeing less of one another how this thing shakes out.
How do you think this will impact showings?
Well, we have had a number of brokers that are still able and willing to go to the building and open a building up for a showing, which is really wonderful from our perspective. I think people can certainly keep their distance. I shaking hands becoming a thing of the past, which honestly is okay with me. Uh, and I think that people are just going to be thinking twice about being in close quarters with anyone for that matter.
You started putting up the Westmount face masks.
We have not, but that's a great idea.
Hand them out during showings. Something to think about.
For sure.
How do you think it will change showing occupied buildings?
Well, we're definitely facing that now because we do have some occupied buildings where is moving out, and we're seeing that those tenants put us through extensive scrutiny before we allow a showing of their space. They're asking us to make sure that whoever the visitors are have gone through, COVID precautions and make sure, and made sure that those people are healthy and so forth. So I do think that those are the types of things that we're going to have to ensure prior to taking a group through an occupied space.
Is the Westmount family working from home?
They are, yeah.
How is this affecting your property managers? Because they're still on the front line.
Yeah. Well, our property managers are going out. Whoopsies. You might have to ask that question again. Audio. Those kids get through no matter.
The kids are.
I don't even think I have them on, where they can get through no matter what, even if I silence my phone. So our property managers are going out to the properties. They're doing more drive-bys, but they're doing obviously what they need to do to, we had a new tenant move in and those keys had to be turned over. So our property managers went out and turned the keys over, also met the contractor and so forth. So they're doing what they need to do, but they're staying safe while doing it.
You're not seeing any change in regularly scheduled maintenance or things of that nature?
Fortunately, our primary vendors are still doing the maintenance that they've been contracted to do. We haven't had any problem with contractors not showing up. In fact, our contractors that we rely on are continuing to perform services at our buildings, which is really awesome given the circumstances and given that we still have tenants that want to be in by a certain date. And if those contractors don't show up and perform the make-ready work and the TI, then we're not going to be able to achieve those dates. So we're very, very thankful to those long-term partners.
So the people who had started transactions pre-COVID-19, have you seen them keep pushing forward? And have they talked to you about rent reduction?
I haven't had anyone who has specifically asked for rent reduction because of COVID-19 where we had a transaction in process. No. I've had a few deals that have said, we've agreed to terms, but we don't want a lease amendment until later in April until we see, how our business is impacted by this. So we've seen some of that, but we haven't seen as much as you might expect. So we're actually very cautiously optimistic.
In the past, if you wouldn't consider a short-term deal, month to month, right now with a lot of people ramping up production and doing things for essential items, are you considering it all?
Definitely. I think we're being much more open to short-term deals, certainly helping out some of our tenants who have special projects. They can take advantage of some of our vacant spaces. We've done some of that as well.
Got it. Laura, that's a wrap.
Okay.
With questions. I'm now recording.
Okay. Thanks, Michael.
Laura, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was
I killed my video.
Pleasure talking to you.
It was very nice talking to you. You have a great day, the rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.
What are you going to do today?
Oh,